Rugari Cross-Border Market is located on the shores of Lake Kivu in Machuba sector of Nyamasheke district. It's a sunny morning in Machuba sector. Rugari Market is busy with livestock farmers, dealers supplying livestock to the market, some by foot, others by car. Food supplies are also being brought to the market in the same way. There's a team in charge of checking traders' temperatures and ensuring that they wear masks properly and wash their hands before being allowed into the market. It's done to prevent further spread of the COVID-19. The zone of Rugari Market reserved for small livestock is divided into several parts. Chicken, goats and pigs are kept in separate parts. Cows are also kept in separate parts of the market, depending on their age, categories including heifers, springers, adults and bulls. Each of the market zones reserved for livestock is equipped with an area for ear tagging, paying taxes, meeting and negotiating prices with buyers. Traders from the DRC travel by boat to reach Rugari Market. They are tested for COVID-19 and go through security check before being allowed into the market. Livestock bought by the Congolese traders are conducted to the port from where they loaded into boats alongside with other goods. They are then shipped to DRC, Ijwi Island or Bukavu. The process goes on until 4 p.m. local time. The food market is as busy as the livestock market, with sellers and buyers moving in and out of the market in big numbers. That's the daily situation at Rugari, home to a modern cross-border market dominated by livestock businesses. The market came as a solution to traders who decried poor conditions at their old markets. They feel excited when comparing the new market and old ones that they attended.
We appreciate this market. It is safe as it is protected by the Army, Police and District Administration Security Support Organ DASO. Everyone using it is safe. The market is also equipped with bars and banks, which make it different from other markets including Virembo and Mutongo. The market brought improvement in our businesses. Our businesses are no longer interrupted by rain. The market also attracts buyers from DRC, which was not the case at Virembo Market. So the new market had a positive impact on our businesses. We used it to operate in the open space because Virembo Market was not covered. Our businesses have been growing since we started operating from this new market. It is close to DRC, which makes it easy from Congolese traders to transport chickens bought here. In the past, some of the chicken died on the way, so the market is very important.
In the old market, our domestic animals were exposed to scorching sun that caused death among the animals sometimes. With this new market, the animals are very safe. Suppose you had to sell a domestic animal to buy another good from the earned money. In that case, you took the animal to Vitawa Market and then traveled to Virembo to buy the other good. It was tiresome. There was a gap. Vitawa Market was for cows, Virembo for goats, while some other goods were only available at the old Rugari Market. It was tiresome. Now it is easy. The market is a one-stop center for suppliers and buyers. We welcomed very well the new market as it brought about changes in our businesses.
We are very happy. In the old market, we were exposed to sun, rain and mud that made us look dirty. We are happy because we are operating from a market where we feel safe and are protected from rain. We welcomed very well this new market because we needed it a lot. It is very useful. We are now operating from a clean facility.
This new market is equipped with public toilets, while in the old market we had to beg individuals to let us use their toilets.
I agreed with my wife that we need a domestic animal from which we will be getting fertilizer. I came with my child. It did not take us long to get the animal that we needed, so we are going back home early. The new market replaced an old one that was at the same site. The old market exposed traders to rain as it was not as modern like this. It is the first time that I am visiting this new market. The old market did not look good and many thieves were operating from it. Traders were worried about their safety. This new market is very good and well equipped. It keeps traders sheltered from rain. The animals are safe when owners are busy with other activities. The market is very important. Though I was not here to buy many goods, I have observed that there is a variety of goods in the market. Compared to other several markets that I have been to in Rwanda, this is an international market because it receives most of the Congolese traders buying from Rwanda. If you buy a young bull for 250,000 Rwandan francs and raise it for 1 year, you will sell it to 500,000, 600,000 or even 700,000 depending on how well it grew. So the new market is profitable for bull suppliers. I appreciate very much the fact that now it is easy and safe to restrain a bull being fitted with a near tag. In the past, we struggled to restrain a cow legs with bare hands. But now, we use a head gate. There is no need for much manpower.
The new market is equipped not only with shops for goods, but also with bars, accommodation facilities, and various services. Congolese traders supply some goods including coffee bought by Rwandan dealers.
We have clients for our coffee. They are buying quality coffee. They do not buy fresh coffee beans or bad coffee. They are interested in high quality coffee. They buy it for 1,100 Rwandan francs per kilogram. We are doing well. Congolese traders supply us with coffee. Once they are here, we unload it, weigh it and check its quality. During the exercise of quality check, the coffee beans are spread on tents and then we proceed with weighing. We require suppliers to bring quality and well-dried coffee. In that case, if we buy it for 1,100 per kilogram, we hope to sell it for 1,150 Rwandan franc per kilogram. That is when we can expect profit from this business. We thank the government for having constructed such a modern market. It is a state-of-the-art facility with enough space to accommodate traders. The market is very important to us as it attracts Congolese buyers.
Rugani Market was constructed as part of Rwanda's strategy to increase cross-border trade. Cross-border trade has turned out to be important in increasing exports and reducing the trade deficit which occurs when imports are superior to exports. Thanks to the Great Lakes Trade Facilitation project implemented by the Ministry of Trade, traders with goods whose value do not exceed $2,000 are exempted from custom duties. The traders are also equipped with skills in management of formed cooperatives. Infrastructure facilities meant to facilitate cross-border trade have been put in place. Among them, there is Kamembe International Airport that was upgraded to extend its services to evening hours. Cross-border markets have also been constructed near border crossings, including Kyanika in Burera District, Petite Barrière in Rubavu District, Rusizi 1 in Rusizi District, and Rugari Livestock Market in Nyamasheke districts. The cross-border trade is expected to yield more results thanks to a related policy put in place by Rwanda.
I think we have had a good collaboration with Great Lakes Trade Facilitation. It is a project that has been benefiting for $26 million, and so far 73% of it has been disbursed. nearly $19 million. And we think that from that amount invested in cross-border infrastructure, the country will be benefiting a lot. And especially as it is working on the three countries, Uganda and DRC, have been more or less focusing on our business with DRC, which has been very, very interesting. In terms of infrastructure, cross-border market on infrastructure built, we have had two specific cross-border markets. The first one is a cross-border market at Nyamasheke, and it has a total value of $2.7 million. And the second one is a cross-border market at Bugarama, which also had a value of $1.6 million. And we consider them as very important infrastructure in place to support the cross-border trade. We have also another type of infrastructure related to the airport in Kamembe. It has been completed, and it's currently having more than 300 people per month traveling. So this also is a way of increasing trade among the countries, even from people from South Kivu willing to travel to Kigali, to other places. And that airport has been increasing the traffic. It has been around $14 million for its rehabilitation. We do think that with, let's say, the Nyamasheke cross-border market, it is capable of having around 3,000 traders working on a daily basis when it has been open. So we think that this creates a kind of movement of its kind, and which cannot be done with apart from with such an initiative like the Great Lakes Trade Initiative. We also think that with that project we've been able to have more than 36 cooperatives being trading, and this also has a special impact on the business relationship, be it for the country but also for the other side.
Coming back to Rugari cross-border market, it was constructed by the government of Rwanda through the Ministry of Trade and Industry in collaboration with the World Bank, Nyamasheke District and LODA. Construction works for the market started in December 2018 and cost 2.5 billion Rwandan francs upon completion. The coordinator of SPIU at the Ministry of Trade and Industry explains the motives behind the establishment of the market.
So the rationale of cross-border markets focusing on Rugari is built on the strategy that already exists. We have a 5-year strategy, which is cross-border trade strategy. And this strategy is intended to increase our exports with the regional markets. And our particular major market is DRC. So having understood the opportunities that exist with DRC, it was necessary that we look at different investments that could be done along the Kivu belt. Among them is the market, the infrastructure. So there are multiple markets there. There is already existing markets. There are those under development, and there is this new one that we were gracefully funded by the World Bank. And so that was the rationale. These cross-border markets are really intended for informal cross-border traders, to support them to be like collection centers for the products that they trade, but also be accessible by the market of the DRC traders who want to get products from Rwanda. And so these are like trade hubs that we intended to, as government, to have on the borders. And Rugari falls into that gap. Rugari particularly is at the port, so it's known like a land border. It's a port where we have many cross-border traders coming from DRC, particularly looking for cattle, or what we could call animal products. So they look for cattle and bovines, pigs, goats, and everything. And then we also expand, diversify some of the opportunities that are there, which includes even other related products that they could get. And that's why Rugari comes into the space. The Nyamasheke market already existed, so we are actually modernizing and upgrading the market. So it's not like it's a new infrastructure. It was initially last long years ago, I'm told, and it is particularly for cattle. It's really a big market for cattle, And so it was intended that we modernize the facility, which we upgraded to the level where it is, a 2.7 billion investment of that market. And so the community was more happy about it because, again, it moves them from how they used to do it in an open space, heat and rain covering them, but now to a modern facility where they are covered and have other extra services that they might need. So it was really well appreciated by the community, but also the other stakeholders that are surrounding the district in the development plan of the district.
The mayor of Nyamasheke district, as a beneficiary of the project, elaborates on the district contribution in the construction of the market and its economic benefits. She also urges district residents to put the market to good use.
Rugari Cross-Border Market was constructed by the Ministry of Trade and Industry in collaboration with the World Bank and the host district that availed land and carried supervision of construction works. Collaboration and constant supervision led to smooth execution of works and the final product presenting benefits to citizens. Before the market was constructed, our district collected 9 million Rwandan francs in revenue per month. The revenues increased to 14 million Rwandan francs per month. The increase in revenues collected by the district benefit the citizens and country at large. The market is there and so are the traders using it. The clients come from our neighbor DRC. The clients buy food items and domestic animals including goats, pigs, cows, chickens and rabbits. The demand is very high. We sensitize local citizens to raise more animals, increase their agriculture products so that we can meet the market demand. Our district has an initiative called Nsiganino Gereze, Give me a start, I will do the rest myself. Through this initiative, we sensitize low-income families to embrace saving. We ask them to save a certain amount from the money that they earn from VUP works. At the end of the year, we encourage them to buy domestic animals, and we accompany them along the process. If we have more families raising domestic animals, we will be able to meet the demand from our clients. We are also working to increase land allocated for agricultural production. We sensitize local farmers on using modern agriculture methods and applying fertilizers. By combining crop production and animal husbandry, the farmers will get fertilizers and be able to produce enough harvest to meet the market demand.
azabafasha kubona ifumbire noneho bityo na wa musaruro wiyongere tubashe guhaza isoko ryacu rya cross-border market.
The coordinator of SPIU at the Ministry of Trade and Industry speaks about achievements registered after the completion of the market. He affirms that expectations are being met.
The expectations have been met. Indeed, they have been met. It is too early to say we are 100% contented. We would say it at least gives us a leeway to see other avenues of what can be done. Because, it's a market. We could be looking at other infrastructures to increase the market operation. It is still 3 days. We want it to be a full week market. We still get cattle as the main products that are being traded. We want to see other products going through that market. So the expectations, I would say, are good for the start, but it is also an opportunity, even for the private sector, to also look at exploring other avenues, not only the cattle, because we don't think that is a good product to be trading on, but what if we look at other avenues that we can trade? So our expectations so far, in terms of the project, we are very happy because we at least now finished that phase. We are now looking at the phase of full operationalization and looking at other opportunities to follow through.
The mayor of Nyamasheke district calls upon users of the Rugari market to manage it properly and exploit it to the maximum. The district has also plans to improve settlements and increase infrastructure linked to the market.
turi gushyiramo imbaraga uburyo tugomba kubungabunga kiriya gikorwa remezo.
We are focusing on strategies meant to ensure that the market is well maintained and clean. We have already started the replacement and reparation of aging or damaged equipment. We ensure that maintenance is done on a daily basis. We have also put in place security measures at the market. We work with police, reserve force and DASO to ensure that the market and its users are safe from any action that can cause insecurity or damage to the infrastructure. So we follow closely the management of the market, whereby we are putting an emphasis on security. Security constitutes a key pillar for development, and it is through it that we can sustain registered achievements. The country invests a huge budget in infrastructure development, so we regularly educate citizens on how they can put to good use and protect facilities meant to take them out of poverty, as well as contribute to the country's development. That is when they will get long-term benefits from the infrastructure.
twabibyaza umusaruro ariko tunabibungabunga kugira ngo bikomeze bitanga umusaruro ndetse n'iterambere ku baturage.
We are lucky because we have access to what I can call an international port. The market serves traders from DRC and other parts who come to buy livestock. We should avoid any act that may damage the market because it is very important to us. A lot of money was invested in this market, so we should use it as we use our own property. The market came as a solution because we need it dearly.
What lessons the implementation of this project left behind, and how are they going to serve in similar projects in the future?
What key lessons have we learned? There are always multiple lessons that come with this kind of a project. One of the key lessons that we have learned here in terms of this particular market, which is also borrowed from other markets, is the need to increase our market investigation in the other part of the DRC. What are the needs that they need, and so we can further design this similar investment aligning to these opportunities. So right now, when you look at Nyamasheke, you will see that the bigger part of it, we were focusing on the cattle, but what if we look at even other services? So lessons learned is to increase our market investigations, our market intelligence across the DRC to further inform how these projects are developed. Secondly, collaboration has been a lesson learned between different stakeholders. A market is not a district property, it's a private sector property. So we believe that working together with different stakeholders, things can smoothly go fast. This is one of the markets that, minus the period it took to start, if you put in the period it took to construct, we really could say that there was a strong collaboration to fast track it and make it that it is completed. The other lessons learned in that project, maybe the last one would be that similar initiatives like other markets can also borrow, is the need to have a shared understanding on the management of the market, even in the initial stages of this market. And this is where we strongly appreciate the collaboration that the district did in terms of defining how they want to manage this market, bringing together cooperatives, district officials, private sector, and other partners. And I think that management model, we are yet to see how it works, but it was well discussed and agreed upon, and the process was well captured. So generally speaking, I would say Nyamasheke is among other markets that we have at the Kivu belt, but it is also a market that we can say gives us a good understanding of how future interventions can be done going forward.
What plans are there for the future in terms of development of cross-border trade meant to increase Rwanda's exports?
As all countries, Rwanda has been hit quite enough with the COVID-19 pandemic. And in the beginning, most of the borders have been closed. But after good assessment and having the disease also under control, we have started to reopen slowly for business purpose the borders. And then some actions have been done to facilitate trade movements. The first one is to put in place some health centers at the border, so that people who are traveling, be it from here to the other country, can be tested and be sure that they are safe. On the other side, we have also added some joint committees to allow the traders to have a platform to discuss, like the one we have put in place in Rusizi with Bukavu, and this facilitated them to have a place to discuss about some of the trade issues. We have also found a way to facilitate informal trade, because in the beginning the informal trade was hit enough, but by facilitating some of the requirements, as long as they are safe in terms of COVID-19, they have been able to rework, and they have been sent initially by cooperatives with few representatives, but allowing them to have the good movement, but definitely seeing that we had a good position in terms of containing the spread of the pandemic. We have been able to allow them to travel under the informal trade. But lastly, we have put quite much effort on having the private sector on the Rwandan side and the private sector on the DRC side in Bukavu joining and meeting. They have been meeting May this year, 2021, and they have had a good place to discuss on the way they can strengthen their business relationship, informing what they have available in each part, how they can also strengthen trade. So I think that with those several actions, it is allowing us to cope with COVID-19, though the trade at the cross-border has to continue.
Residents in localities adjacent to Rugari Market and its users thank the government of Rwanda for the state-of-the-art facility.
We thank the government for having constructed this market here. It is very important because it will bring improvement in our living conditions. This market is an addition to other programs implemented by the government to change our lives.
I wish I met the person who constructed this house so that I can thank them. The market has a positive impact on my life. I am employed as a cleaner at the market. I am very thankful. If I met the author of the idea from which the Rugari market originated, I would thank them a lot. The market is of great importance to me and colleagues who got jobs here. When I supply something to the market on Wednesdays, I go home with a good sum of money.
Cross-border trade constitutes a key pillar of Rwanda's international trade and is a reliable path towards reducing the country's trade imbalance. It's necessary that this trade is streamlined by professionalizing it and availing enough infrastructure facilities. This will lead to enhanced commercial exchanges in the Great Lakes region, pending the operationalization of the Continental Common Market.